Hey guys, I'm so excited. I have a really special guest with me today. My first Testimony Tuesday guest, and it's one of my favorite people in the world.
You're my favorite as well.
Oh, that's so sweet, babe.
Aww.
Aw. Well, my name is Deshante, and welcome back to another Testimony Tuesday. All right, so today we are going to be talking about this is actually part two to how we discovered porn was an open door to the enemy in our marriage. Get excited. Are you excited to talk about this subject?
No, I feel embarrassed and ashamed.
Say
Let's get through it.
So, did you watch the video I put out?
I did.
I know we had a discussion about it, but how did you feel?
I feel like porn it is an open gate, and I feel like it can destroy not only couples, but it can destroy you mentally, physically, and emotionally. Just watching it and what sex actually looks like from different points of views.
Yeah.
From a male perspective, also from a female perspective. I think overall that's the biggest thing. Growing up, looking at porn, I think I seen porn when I went the first time. I think I was around 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
That was your first time. That's so very young.
Yeah.
That's scary.
We also had not only videos, we had magazines and things like that.
Wow. How do you think that affected you at such a young age to be exposed to porn that young?
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to get it in when I seen it for the first time. I said, oh man, this is what grown folks do. I want to do it as a kid.
Really, when you were only 6 years old, did you even understand what that was?
I didn't. But I said I wanted to kiss sometimes I said I wanted to kiss a girl, but also I said I wanted to kiss a teenager overall. And I wanted to experience it.
That's sad. That makes me so sad. So, with seeing it so young, how did that affect the rest of your childhood when it came to topics of sex and image and sexuality and things like
Well,
that?
growing up, it made me feel even to talk about it. I guess because seeing porn, I felt like embarrassed. Or I'd even talk about it, even though I was watching it or seeing it, what anybody else noticing watching it or seeing it. Just keep it a secret. So when they would talk about it, I'll say, "Oh, I don't know anything about that." I'll play nonchalant, but I don't know anything about sex. Even though I was watching it, also I was masturbating, also at a young age. So I just didn't tell anybody because I thought it was just a secret between you and yourself.
I think that's a lot of people that when we discover it in younger years, you were super young. It wasn't until I was like preteen, but you were very, very young. And do you feel like you felt shame or embarrassment from that?
No, I don't feel no shame or embarrassment. I just
No,
feel,
as a kid, did you
oh, as a
feel?
kid, I don't know. I seen it and I just said, I guess that's what people supposed to be doing because I don't want to people on blast. But I seen a family member watch it, and I peeked my head through the door and I was like watching it too. Didn't understand
Mm.
anything about it. But I was like, oh, this is why you want me to shut the door. Yeah, and let me come in the room with you.
Wow. So it was easily accessible.
Yes.
And it was
Absolutely.
something that basically, like I said in my video, it was normal. Like I thought that everybody did it. You thought that that's
Yeah,
what
I
people
thought it was
were
just
supposed to
normal.
do. It's just
Yeah.
normal, and that's what people did.
Right.
And I think that even as we grew up, how do you feel like that kind of affected your thoughts about women in your younger years as a young man? 6 is really young to start
Well,
being exposed.
well, I thought that's what all women want to do because it seemed like these men were just, I feel like, just devouring these women sexually or felt like they're conquering them and taking over and controlling them. For me, sexually, I thought that was what I was supposed to do when I started having sex.
Okay,
Like just taking control and having power over a woman. And this is what she likes because that's what they show in porn. You see the things they're doing to these women. So we're like, oh, I'm taking notes of that's what I'm supposed to do when I have sex.
like you needed to power
Oh yeah,
over a woman.
absolutely.
And that's what it showed you.
Right.
So, as you went into your teen years, do you feel like porn was an addiction?
I say yes. I think porn is an addiction. Can I tell a story? Yeah, when I was about 14, I remember me and my brother, we were walking past a car, and I don't know how we noticed this car with nothing. It was a lot of porn magazines, but I think it had tapes. And I said, we just seen some pornographic magazines. So what we did, we told our little brother to jump in the car and grab all these magazines.
Oh my gosh.
And we took it to, like, at the time I said Pops' movie at his apartment. My mom just got married. So we took him and he had this military trunk. We put it in and we just stuffed him in there and we covered it up. My mom was, I think she noticed something, we were just acting weird. We just heard it and took it out. And we locked our door to our room. We just looking at magazines.
So you guys even involved your little brother.
Oh yeah.
So then now it's like a cycle. So you were exposed.
Yeah, we exposed our little brother as well. Like, he was young, so we had porno magazines. He was probably 11 or 12. We tell him to shut up, don't be gay, or we just show him these magazines.
How does that make you feel now?
Disgusted. But it makes me understand you can't do that as a child.
Yeah, but you were a child also.
I was a child, but looking back at it, it's like, how would you do anything like that?
Yeah, because you didn't understand. You didn't know, again, how society has normalized porn and has been affected us to the point where it was like, oh, this is normal. You were being exposed to it so young. Oh, let me show my brother. Let me tell him, oh, if you don't look at this, you gay, or things like that. That's what's going on with the porn industry. That's why so many people are addicted to porn, because they're being exposed at a really early age, and it's really, really sad. It's an epidemic.
It is. It's a sad epidemic.
You felt like you had an addiction. Yes. Do you feel like you had an addiction starting at when you very first discovered it?
No, I feel like I had it probably in my teen years, like at 14. Yeah.
Until when?
Probably until my early 30s. I just completely just cut it off.
Let's talk a little bit about when we got married. Or we started dating in high school,
right,
at our senior year. And obviously, I talked about porn was normal. I was watching porn. You watched porn. Right. But talk to me about how you think porn affected our marriage. And it was like,
I had no idea it affected our marriage until every time we looked at it together, he would tell me it was a problem. I didn't understand it. Again, I thought porn was just enjoyable for me, and overall, when you tell me it was a problem, I just kept watching it until I feel like God spoke to me not to just do this. You're hurting not only your marriage, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Overall. But that's when I just said, you know what, I'm just not gonna watch porn anymore.
When I started saying that it was like this, how did you feel? Because I'm not
gonna lie, I felt like you was crazy. I was like, this woman crazy, yo. This is good stuff.
I know that's how you felt. You thought it was crazy. Because I thought I was crazy. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, when I started coming up with those correlations, and that was before following God or anything like that. So it was really weird.
Yeah, it was a weird moment. It was really weird. Because I said, yo, this woman, I'm going to keep Jordan watch my porn. I don't care what she say. That's what it felt like.
So at what point did you get that revelation, like that first revelation, that first moment where you felt like God kind of tugging at your heart? Was it when I started talking about it, or was it? It
was around COVID, when COVID just came in, and I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. I think that's around the same time I just completely stopped smoking marijuana. Like, just cold turkey just stopped. And I was like, God is calling me for, I feel like, a higher purpose overall. I think the biggest thing with me was just fear. I feel like I was going to die soon. Like, God was going to come get me. And I was like, oh yeah, I gotta repent quick. Sorry, because COVID is about to kill everybody, wipe everybody out on earth. And I need to make it to heaven ASAP.
Oh no! So I didn't know that it wasn't until COVID. So you felt like that was the first time?
Yeah, that was the first time.
That you actually felt bad about it?
Yeah. Again, it was that and smoking weed.
Really? Yeah. I thought it was before that, because I feel like we had conversations before that.
We had them, but I was like, hey, I'm gonna do my thing.
No, I did not know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But okay, so once God started talking to you, what was that like? What was the Lord speaking to you?
I just feel like God was just telling me to protect my family. You supposed to lead by example first and foremost, and just be there and give an understanding, because again, I feel like the clock was ticking, and I was thinking to myself, hey, I have to let everybody know who God is and what He can do. Let's just try to clean up ourselves before we go to heaven or hell. First and foremost, that's the biggest thing I thought about.
Do you feel like it was like a moment during COVID where you thought you was gonna die, so you
Oh,
then you need to
absolutely.
get your life right?
Right.
But okay, so what happened after that? Did it continue? Did you?
Of course, it continued. Listen, things are gonna continue to bother you. Sometimes you have withdrawals or fall back, but overall, you just gotta stay prayed up and talking to God, because the devil, he's at you and he's lurking 100%.
Sure.
That's the biggest thing, and you just got to just stay in. The biggest thing is just stay in prayer overall.
Is that something? So during COVID, God was like, you need to basically stop doing this and smoking weed.
Yeah.
And so, was it hard for you?
Yeah, it was hard. Like any other addiction,
Yeah.
it's hard.
What did you do?
Again, I just talked to God, and I read my Bible.
Yeah.
And my Bible plans. I feel like God was just trying to change my overall mindset. And at the time, I was still in my early 30s. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what the early 30 people probably should be doing right now. I feel like I was just getting older and mature. The kids already called me old. I was like, okay, I shouldn't be doing these things past my mid-30s. I think that's the biggest thing, is just we all have to evolve and we all have to grow, especially men and women. So we have to change our mindsets overall.
That's good. Do you feel like, so concerning our marriage and the porn, how do you feel like porn overall affected our marriage? I know you thought my correlations were crazy. I thought they were crazy before we started walking with God, because we didn't start walking with God, trying to walk with the Lord, until our late 20s. So it was just kind of like all the stuff that was happening before that was like, what is going on? So my overview of how it affected our marriage was like, I knew that it was demonic, and I was like, Lord is like showing me that when I very first started encountering God, I was having a lot of encounters with the Lord, and He was showing me things in the spiritual realm, and so I would come and tell you all these things. And so how do you feel like, what was your side of that as we were kind of going through it? You were still watching it, we were married, navigating. Were you hiding it?
I was somewhat hiding it, yes, because I said, again, I feel like He was understanding the purpose of God quicker than me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes God will make you understand when things are about to happen for your life. And I feel like, that's what He did for me, to me. I have to get my mind right. I have to get my spirit right. I'm willing to make that change in my life.
Why did you hide it?
I think I hid it because I wanted to keep doing it, but also I just felt ashamed and embarrassed and guilt, and I didn't want to let you know I had like a still addiction to watch something. And on top of that, it could create a conflict between our marriage, because you stopped, I didn't stop, and on top of that, it could reflect. It's just gonna reflect our relationship and our friendship together.
Right.
Look forward in our relationship, just that bond we have together, and I don't want to break a bond.
So you lied.
Yeah, I did.
You want to break a bond, so you lied. Yeah. So what does lying do? Break a bond.
Break a bond.
Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on Testimony Tuesday today. If you were to speak to other men and other married couples about this, what would you tell them about A, walking with God through it, and B, journeying with other men? Did you have any accountability? Did you ever talk to any other men? That was the question I wanted to ask before we get to that.
I didn't talk to anybody
else?
I feel like the only person I was talking to was God, because I feel like me and God had this relationship, this mentor relationship, saying I got you the whole way through. I got you, just like when I was smoking weed, I felt that. I remember the last time I smoked weed, it was 2020, I'd say right before my birthday I smoked, and after that I left all my weed paraphernalia in Lawton, Oklahoma. I just left everything, and I just said I can't do it.
Okay, so you didn't talk to other men about it?
No, I didn't. And if I did, I probably feel embarrassed.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's just something, I don't know, it's just that feels shameful.
Yeah, that's how you know it's of the enemy. Anything that makes us feel ashamed like that. Sex is supposed to be beautiful. We're not supposed to be ashamed. We're not supposed to feel nasty. We're supposed to feel joyful, happy. It's a good thing. And like I said in the last video, the enemy really distorted sex and made it into something shameful, made it into something, this addiction, made it into something that's causing and tearing apart marriages and family. That's wrecking childhoods and our mindsets concerning sexuality and bringing in the spirit of perversion. And that is exactly what the enemy wants, is for you to feel ashamed.
Right.
But I'm glad that you've been able to be set free. So back to my last question, how does it feel now that you're able to walk free from it? And
It feels like a breath of fresh air. I don't have to live through this bondage anymore. It's just that the bondage has been taken off. I feel like I'm just set free from any spirit, any lust spirit that was haunting me out there. Overall, yeah.
Do you feel like when you got set free, did you literally feel a relief?
Yeah, it's like this relief. It feels like I'm chasing something.
That's what you felt like.
Yeah.
You were chasing something.
Yeah.
Interesting. What would be your advice to other men and other married couples about walking with God and about overcoming any addictions too?
Yeah, walk with your purpose in God. Stay faithful, and if you have any addictions, it doesn't matter if it's masturbation, weed, playing video games all day. Talk to the Lord, but also talk to your best friend about it, and you guys, and try not to feel ashamed or embarrassed. You know, being married, you guys are all one. So biggest thing is just talk to each other, amongst each other, have a game plan. Making sure your wife is your accountability partner overall. And I think that will help you in the process with any addiction.
Again, that is our Testimony Tuesday for today, guys. Porn was an open door in our marriage, and we were both set free from it. Thanking God, thank for the Lord. Amen. Thank you for deliverance. Thank you for the blood of Jesus, because that is what set us free, and we've been able to overcome it. And you can overcome this addiction. If it's something that's going on in your marriage and you need help, please reach out. There are many resources that can help you walk through this. You don't have to walk through it alone. I thank you guys for watching today, and I'll see you next time.